I think you guys can hear Coco Melon in the background. That's going to be the background music for the day. We're going to go over the Berserk Barbarian, though, because I did get Lucian down on Tier 1 last night. I forgot to hit record because I'm not very smart. But I can prove it because I stupidly didn't bring in an amulet. I thought you could corrupt everything. I didn't do any research on this. I wanted to go into it blind, but there we go. Now I have a standard skill amulet. Berserk gets bonus damage from taunt and combat reflexes. You don't actually need it. I see a couple people with the Berserk build who are actually pulling out of the damage synergies and putting them elsewhere. You do need general mastery, and I have the taunt, and I'm dumping into battle orders. 1 point in all your everything else. I do use Whirlwind a bit for actually positioning. That's why I have a point in there, and leap attack too. But people are, pulling out things, putting it into natural resistance or more battle orders or into battle cry. It's you have enough damage. In terms of gear, Berserk Barb is like really easy to gear up. Let's start with the starter gear first. The Bolcathos set. I know I P-boxed these, but you can find like IS and ED Slam Bolcathos sets for like what? A couple World Stone shards. Throw that on with the ring, and you've got the set bonus for what? 2 skills, all that damage demons and undead, and the canopy frozen on the ring, and the deadly strike, and the crushing blow. It's a good starter set. Eventually, you want to move into a grandfather. I got that actually for an ohm, and then boxed it myself. Doesn't have great jewels in it, but that is pretty good for a 13k Berserk right now. Halberds is probably your go-to helm, just because it has, well, everything you need. It has physical damage resist, it has the 5 to masteries essentially there, 5 to battle orders, and attack rating I have on there just because I'm a boss killer. I need the extra attack rating. You want a shaft stop for your bossing gear. Let's put a bossing gear on. Dun dun dun. That only cost. Thank you. Yeah. That only cost me a high room, but again, boxed it, got 2. Regular old string will do for a while. Nature's Peace, Water Walks, Raven for the canopy frozen, and the laying on hands for the damage to demons. And like I said, my amulet is a standard barb skill amulet that I should not have desecrated. For mapping, though, a standard Vile Tusk will do you much better than the Doombringer. The Doombringer is awesome for having the extra life and the bonus to attack rating and all that stuff, but in maps, the extra amplified damage, even though you're piercing already for, 40%? Yeah, it's a lot better. Then I generally throw on a G-Bane because I don't need the PDR in the maps, and that gives me more critical strike. It goes from, 32 on the base stats up to 43 there. And then actually I can switch the Bolcathos on for even more damage. And then just for Rathma, you can see with this setup here, once I get some 8% water walks, I'll be at 90, and then I do need to get some ohms into this. Those 30 IS jewels are doing nothing for me. But I will be at maximum resistances. Probably get, a 2% or 3 perfect nature's piece, and I'll have 90, 90, 90. Then for Rathma, just flip on an Andy's face, and you're at 90 poison res. There you go. Flip off your gloves, put on some deaths, and I think I have some, poison reduction boots in here too, and yeah, you're pretty much good to go. So it can boss everything, obviously. I got Lucian down, I've gotten Declone down. I will try to get Tier 2 Declone down this season with this setup. Skillers. I see people using the max life, because again, you don't need the damage. I do like the combat skillers because they're cheaper, and they give all that nice, juicy physical pierce. You get 1% for every one you have on here. Standard Torch, Annie, resistances. That's where you're kind of hurting with this build. I am a little overcapped right now, but you got to find it somewhere. So most of your charms, I do have 115 all-res Grand Charm on there. And for Rathma, you do need to be overcapped because of that curse he throws on everything. Other starter gear, though, the Dark Adherence set's pretty good. I was using this for a bit, too. Again, all the damage demons and undead, throw that on with the Bolcathos and just stay away from the animal maps, and that's a great, great starter set. Guardian Angel, if you're trying to do bosses and you don't have the shaft stop right away, that's a good starter set there. It has 1 to all skills now. It's going to be very popular with everybody, but easy way to get your resists up too. Beyond that, that's the entire build, man. It is pretty straightforward. You get your frenzy stacks, which with the Doombringer and the or the Vile Tusk,
the Grandfather, your IS breakpoint is a lot better. Hang on. Ignore the IAS. I'm not sure why that's not displaying correctly. You see I get max frames on the bottom there, and you just basically one-shot everything. 13k Berserk, 6k on the Vile Tusk, and then I think with the Doombringer it's like 3 to... hang on. Very good, I was totally prepared to do this. Bam, there we go. But the problem with the Doombringer in maps is just that Weaken is super annoying, and yeah, you get, I mean, 4 to 8, that's damn good, and I got Shales in there instead of EDIAS jewels, but the amplified damage is much better for the mapping. In terms of farming, though, this is not like a great, it isn't just a boss killer. I've been trying to farm mats, but Wapinator's really doing that with Curse Necro. If you have the money, Enigma would probably speed this up if this is going to be like a one-character thing. I'm even making a Sork because it is not the greatest at farming up the mats. And in terms of maps, though, it is, I don't think it's a C- like Dark Humility had it. I think it's more like a B mapper. It's pretty average. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it, but as a melee, you know, Fall of Chaldeans, hang on. You're okay. You're okay. Fall of Chaldeans, you're doing in like 7 minutes. Other standard maps with more, you know, running around and stuff, you're in the 10-minute mark with the gear I have right now. I think I can get it down to 9 or 8. I mean, it's definitely not a C- mapper. It does its job here. Beyond that, that is skills, starter gear, gear I have currently, gear for mapping, gear for declone, gear for Rathma, other starter gear, other starter gear. See you guys later.